looked like it was a good one between Overwatch and I think it was at the time. I actually can't remember who it was now, but I just had it in my mind. It was Glock, I think, and he had a 3 second time penalty towards the end. So that was a great Grand Prix. And my name is ILT Indigo, and joined alongside me today is Dan. He's not here for the time being, so he's had problems trying to get home.
Oh yeah, sorry mate. Sorry, I am here, mate. Mackie's about to sit the fastest lap, mate. I was muted then. Sorry, mate.
It's fine. So, yeah, we've got to ball back it first then. He's currently heading towards the line now with a 20.2. So, ideally, you want to be aiming for the low 19s or the high 18s. That's where majority drivers should be then. So, we'll see if those drivers can hit the 18s or 19s, but it should be a good lap time if you get into those type of tyres. DJ Ramovage takes it by a second point two, so great lap indeed from the Ferrari driver. Finished P7 at the Dutch Grand Prix. Here comes MDJ towards the line. It's a 19.3 for the man in second place in the championship then, as he slots in to second, as he wants to try and extend his deficit or his gap towards Laser in the championship. Rogue Smithy goes P3 with a 19.7, and I'll turn you up, Dan, because my gaming audio is not to the right place.
A cheeky toe then across the line, and he still fell short of MDJ's time. He did seem to go a little bit wide entering Parabolica, so not an ideal line for him. I always find Parabolica quite, even though it's a simple corner, it's quite a hard corner to get a fast time through there, so it looked like he just struggled through there. HP8 Gamer's about to cross the line. Now, he struggled at the first chicane, but does come across with a 120.405. Jumping aboard Zenon, see what he can do. Oh no, he's just starting a lap of Zenon. Mansell in the second sector, not setting the lighting screens, the timing screens alight, but it does look an half decent lap. Should be in the low 120s at least.
Yeah, then here he comes in the Haas then is Mansell as we make our way down into Parabolica, braking at the 50-meter board. I will do a full lap walkthrough once I get on board with the drive. Overwatch in the 18s immediately, like I said. So there it is, a 19.4 for Mansell as he puts his car into P4, separated both Mercedes drivers of SFR Oliver and MDJ as well. So there's the initial timings, and we'll see if anybody else out there is on a lot of time. So it is a short track, but it can be quite difficult with the heavy braking zones, especially down into turn 1 and turn 2, because you're coming from like 350 kilometers an hour all the way down to about 40, 60 miles per hour or kilometers an hour. Harry Kane goes into P3, so the Norwegian driver once again doing a great job. I think in the Dutch Grand Prix finished around in the top 7, I believe it was, and yeah, he hasn't had a podium for a few races now, so hopefully he can get back up there, because we know he's got the pace, but yeah, the last 2 races hasn't gone his way. He did score a podium back in the Belgian Grand Prix, if I remember. Took it off Samid at the very late stages due to Samid going wide at Ravage, and therefore Harry Kane slipped through. So Harry Kane's P3 in the championship. Glock, who finished second at the Dutch Grand Prix after getting a 3-place grid penalty or 3-second time penalty, puts his car into P2, and 1-2 is the finishing order from last week.
Yeah, mine's about to cross the line. It's looking quite a tight lap, this, mate. Might be mid to high 19s. Yeah, mid 19s, so not bad from Martin there.
Decent performance as he puts his Aston Martin into P7. So here comes the Alpine of MSA Samid then, making its way towards the end of the first set to 26.4 as we head through the second chicane. Can be quite tricky this one, especially if you hit the curves way too much, but looks like he had a decent entry there, slowing fast start corner into the first Lesmo. We go into 5th gear, just carrying the speed, using the outside line as well. Coming into the second one, do the same thing here, running the car out wide, trying to maximise all the track as much as you can without a validated 2. Down the second straight though with the DRS open, might get a distant tow from the Red Bull, but hopefully gets out of the way very shortly with a 53.0 as we head through Ascari. Then this is another tricky corner here. It's very easy to lose the car, and it was very close to going out to track limits there, as you probably saw that.
Yeah, 53.0 kind of looks like the mid pack time for sectors 1 and 2 combined, so it's not going to be setting the line screens, timing screens alight, I don't think. With the high 19s maybe, yeah, mid to high 19s, suppose in P9.
once upon a time a 90 was good, but not anymore because these cars are getting faster and faster. But here is Mackett then on his flying lap in the Williams. What can he do as he crosses the line now? It's a 19.7, puts his car inside that top 10, just a few hundreds quicker than Rogue Smithy and a few hundred behind Salmon as well. So there are the lap times with Overwatch, who made his appearance at the Hungarian Grand Prix, and I thought he had great pace, but his strategy choices wasn't right on that day. But ever since then, he came back stronger. At the Belgian Grand Prix as well, I think he lost out, and towards the Dutch Grand Prix, finally got his first win. Cassidy entered the second corner, hit the curve too much, and just unfortunately lost the car. So bit of oversteer there for Cassidy in the Aston Martin. That's what I'm talking about. You've got to get the braking at turn 1 and turn 2 spot on, because it hits you very fast. You need to go off all the speed as much as you can. He misses the first apex, then connects well in the second apex of the second chicane now as we make our way through the first Lesmo. MDJ is currently out there on a flying lap. I think he's behind Cassidy with 2 cars in between them, so we'll see what MDJ could do on his second attempt though. Cassidy exiting the second Lesmo, DRS enabled for the Aston Martin driver. Laserlord hasn't set a lap time yet as well. He does this quite a lot. He tends to go quite late in qualifying. We've seen it before the past few races he's done so far this season. Our championship leader, who's trying to extend this gap over MDJ, lost out to him in the Dutch Grand Prix and also the Belgian Grand Prix too. You think he won the Belgian Grand Prix, extended his advantage too. So the last few races this season, oh, there's an Alpine who spun there. Might have unsettled Casti because he looks like he had a bit of a slide coming out there, and unfortunately has backed off.
Back in a sec, mate.
No worries, mate. I'll continue then. MDJ is making his way towards the line now, so the Dutchman crossed the line with a 19.0, so they're getting closer and closer towards Glock and Overwatch, but not close enough, unfortunately. So puts his Mercedes into P3. So Glock there in P2 has a monumental pace. He's had some sterling pace this season, but this season he's lost a few wins because incidents and penalties, especially the Dutch Grand Prix too. So he'll be looking to bounce back. And Sammy is supporting the Norwegians, or Denmark, sorry, I can't, excuse me for that one. I commentate over a lot of Norwegian drivers, so yeah. Here we are with Harry Kane, talk about Norwegian driver, heading to the first 2 chicanes we go, so slowing the car down as much as you want, and he connects well with the apex, trying not to take too much curve, because I remember in the older games, you could mount that curve a lot in turn 1 and turn 2. Look at that, there's a bit of a glitch there as the graphics of it all over the place, and 2 drivers have left the session. Harry Kane is 1/10 up in the first sector as we make our way towards the second chicane. The back end of the car is complaining, and also it looks like the game's complaining too, the amount of glitches we're going. So here we are then, coming towards the second chicane we go. Hits that really nicely there. I wonder, has he lost any time coming out of turn number 5? Has Harry Kane as we make our way down towards the second straight. They're not even though it's a DRS zone, not really conventional overtaking place, but he's 1/10 up, but unfortunately has invalidated at Ascari, and that is quite common as well. I've seen a lot of people invalidate there too. You want to take a lot of curb on the entry, but unfortunately took too much, and as a result of that has invalidated. His teammate goes into P6, so he gets a lap time on the board then, as both McLarens are line astern on the third row with each other. Harry Kane and Laser Lord showing some or showing the same pace really is the last few races. You can't really separate them, Harry and Laser Lord. But here's Samu Papito coming towards the final 2 corners, but unfortunately he has invalidated his lap time, has Samu. So currently in P14, looking to improve, try and get himself inside the top 10. Not much in it between P10 and P14 either, as he looks like he's going for another lap time, but he's quite low on ERS, so I wonder if he might complete this lap. But if he does, he'll be quite slow in comparison to the others because of the amount of the lack of EOS he's got. Already gone deep to the first corner as well, and also having a massive snapper oversteer. I mainly support the 3: Finnish, Canadian, and Denmark. Yeah, it's good. It's good to support them. Zen has gone wide in the second chicane, so unfortunately that lap time might be ruined for the Red Bull driver. Let's see what others are doing out there. We've got a Ferrari spun coming out of turn number 1 then, so I don't know how he's done that. Whether he took too much curb into turn 1 and just unsettled the rear of the car and got into a spinner result. Glock has invalidated his lap time. He's 1/10 down anyway in the middle sector, so in his second attempt, unfortunately, has invalidated. You're back, aren't you, Dan?
Oh, I am. Yeah, I was about to say Martin set a purple sector 2 then, but for some reason he's backed out of it, which is a bit strange. Can't understand why he backed out of it then. Yeah, he set a purple sector 2 and then backed out of it. Very strange, but anyway, yeah. I'm just looking at the the times across the board. P1 to P14 is pretty much within a second, which is what you'd expect around here. A couple of drivers at the back there that need to kind of just pick up the pace.
Yeah, they do indeed, and especially Cassidy as well. He's asking Martin teammates Martin's going for another lap time, but it's quite low in the ERS as Overwatch needs to focus on driving, not joining the parties. So gladly he didn't speak there, but Overwatch did lead the session, same as Ramovaj as well. So those two are having internet connection issues, and I think Ramovaj is back, but Overwatch, I'm not quite sure if he's back or not. So he's currently on pole position, but not secure because we've got others out there trying to beat that. Martin a few hundreds down in the first sector, so he went purple in that middle sector, but backed out like you said, as Overwatch has joined the session then, and hopefully can extend his margin on pole, because ever since he joined in Hungary, he's had some great pace.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult for mine to actually improve here, because he's got some sort of damage on my screen, showing he's got damage. He's slightly running out of fuel, and he's only got 10% battery left, so he might not actually be able to finish this. He might be alright on battery, he's got 10%, 9% left, but yeah, fuel and damage, so I wonder what's going on with Martin now.
Martin needs to head back in the pit lane. I think he should have done it on the lap before as well, just to put on a new set of tyres and potentially go for it. He started the lap with low ERS, and considering he backed off at Ascari, your tyres need to cool down as well. You need to prepare, and you need to get into that right temperature range as well. So that's the reason why he was struggling those second lap times. So everybody in the pit lane except a few now. We've got Glock back out there trying to beat Overwatch's lap time. Those two had a great battle at the Dutch Grand Prix. I remember watching that, because when they were on the hard compound tyres, they were in one big DRS train, but they separated as soon as the pit stops started happening. The Glock and Overwatch were left to fight for P1 and P2, so can they continue that? Overwatch recently started to have some great pace, and FVR as well, so he's in a great team. And unfortunately Hazara is not here, as he is currently, I think, taking part in another esports event, so he's in ETA and they're quite busy, so won't see him unfortunately, even though he's a full drive driver, but he's got some great pace and I would have loved to see him in here tonight.
So yeah, this is crunch time for all these drivers now. Anybody that's not coming out of the pits need to do so within the next 15 seconds really, I would imagine. It takes about 30 seconds from pressing X to actually get out onto track, so yeah, they've slowly run out of time, but yeah, everyone's coming out now. I think Oliver is on a hot lap. He's going to get caught with some traffic now. He's going to get a cheeky toe off his teammate by the looks of it. Yep.
6-10 start, he's not on a flying lap, it seems. We've got Bomber Glock there because he's actually about to start a flying lap, and we can walk over this lap as well, as it's the first proper lap time I've seen going on board fully. So here we are on Bomber Glock then in the Red Bull, trying to take pole position away from Overwatch. What can he do? There's a lot of cars coming out of the pit lane. There's a lot of cars in the first sector, braking just before the 100-meter board. A bit hesitant into one and turn two, but nevertheless he hooks it up well, coming out of the corners then into third gear, and no wheel spin on the exit either, so the back end of the car just living it as we make our way through curb and guardrail now. You wanna take a tire as loud as you can through there. There's a Ferrari in the way. Get out of the way, please. And Glock is not happy. It's like Max Verstappen all over again back in 2021 when he encountered traffic. And Glock hopefully has the fuel to go for it again.
Yeah, really busy track, but it looks like there's a good 6 or 7 drivers all nose to tail coming through that second sector now. It might get a little bit silly with track awareness now. Let's hope everyone gets through clean.
We've got MDJ on a fly lap in the Mercedes then, as he's negotiated those cars. As a Red Bull get out of the way, I presume that's Glock. Glock will be frustrated, but just needs to keep his calm and composure, and hopefully he can go for another fly lap. He has the time. Hopefully his tyres are still good, which they should be, because it's the first sector, and also his ERS status and fuel doesn't look like he was without of it either. MDJ, unfortunately, is 2/10 down in this middle sector, and you can see the fuel light popping up on the screen there on the MFD, so I don't think he'll get another run because he might run out of fuel, so that's a shame there for the Dutchman. So that's it for him, I think. Overwatch improves in the first sector by only 8 thousandths, as majority of drivers are on that straight. You can see a hurdle of cars going into turn number one by one. Overwatch 1/10 up, 1.5 tenths up in his middle sector, so he's looking good for pole position in the Haas. He would counter no traffic at all, as here we are then on this short straight. No DRS on this straight, of course, as we head down into Parabolica, then braking at the 50-meter board. And it's very easy to run out wide. That's where you have a lot of temperature, a lot of energy, force going into those tyres. As soon as you turn in, we've got Overwatch making his way towards the line now. What's it going to be? At 18.6, he extends his pole position then as Glock starts his final lap.
Yeah, fair play there. I can't believe he improved, to be honest with you. 18.6, cracking time.
It is indeed, and we've got loads of cars. Laser Lord, unfortunately, has invalidated his lap time. Hurricane's also invalidated, so both McLarens on the back foot already. Bossy Gamer coming towards the first sector. Mackett improves, goes into P6, fouls half a second. I think Rogue Smithy's crashed out at Ascari, so he's out of the session then. Cassidy's gone. Martin is on a lap time, I think, in the Aston Martin.
Yeah, there's a few drivers that have gone on to a second lap. Mansell's gone to a second lap, but I don't think it's been improved. He's not got the battery for it. See what he's like when he comes through sector 2. Oh, he has. He's improved by a tenth, so...
What can Glock do in P2? No, he can't do anything because he's 3 seconds down in that middle sector, unfortunately. So that's his qualifying done and dusted then. And what about Ramovaj in the Ferrari? He makes his way now towards the line. Can he impress Tifosi? Yes, he can. Wow. He goes into P2 with 18.8. Does Ramovaj as well. So that's a great lap time. He's had great qualifying, but just needs to transfer it into a good race. I know he's got some pace in there, but with strategies, etc., and consistency, it looks like he tends to struggle in that particular area. So hopefully he can transfer this into a good race.
I think that's it now, mate. I think no one else on track can actually improve.
Oh, this was a good qualifier session. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Overwatch had pole from the get-go and nobody else took it away from him. So, great lap time as well. Overwatch's last lap time would have also stuck with pole because Ramovaj did improve, but it wouldn't have been enough to take away his provisional pole either. So, great lap time there indeed from Overwatch.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens in the sprint and in the race. Obviously, it's going to be low downforce for everyone, but are those couple of tweaks up or down on the wings going to matter? It certainly did in Division 2 last night. So I've been intrigued to see what happens in the first few laps of the sprint and the race and how people have chosen their wing setup.
Here it is, a low downforce setup indeed. You desperately need that straight line speed, otherwise you'd be swamped on the straight. But here we are then, it's a Ferrari 1-2 power engine, Overwatch in first, Ramovaj in second, Glock in P3, MDJ P4, Harry Kane good qualified in P5 ahead of Mackett, Laser P7, Sam in 8th, Bossy Game in 9th, Mansell rounds off the top 10, Martin 11th, Samu in P12, Oliver 13th, Rogue Smithy and JDM close together once again. They need to have a decent result because they both DNF'd at the Dutch Grand Prix. Cassidy 16th, Zenom 17th, and last is Gamer in 18th place.
So there's quite a few drivers saving a set of softs there as well. There's a few drivers only went out on 2 sets of softs in that qualifying session, so that could play a big role when it comes to safety cars.
Yeah, indeed, a sprint race as well, another race, and you've got to be very careful in the sprint race, especially when you're at the top end of the field, because you risk a lot as well when you go side by side. So I wonder what's going to happen at the Sprint Grand Prix. I remember both McLarens benefited from the Sprint Grand Prix in 2021 when Ricciardo and Norris, I think, finished second and third. I think Bottas got disqualified. He won the race, Bottas, in the sprint, but had to start the back due to his engine penalty. And I think Ricciardo started second, took the lead into turn 1 in the actual race, and won the Grand Prix with Verstappen and Hamilton crashed into turn number 2. But we'll see what happens then in the sprint race. A lot to lose, especially for the guys at the top, but a lot to gain essentially. If you don't have a good qualifying, you can make it up in the sprint and try and start as high as you can in the feature race.
I think we're going to see a safety car in the sprint in lap 1 because Rogue Smith is starting back in P14. He'll be eager to make up some positions on lap 1. He's going to kill me for that. But anyway, yeah, 9 laps of the sprint race. There's not a great deal you can do in 9 laps, but obviously, once the pack settles down, it'll all become down to, I reckon, laps 3 to 7 and who saves their ERS.
We'll see then who has the consistency, who can get into a rhythm straight away from the lights out as well. Ramovaj, can he take first place away from Overwatch into turn 1. The inside line has been proven to be a great place to start. Try and get a better launch and try and send it into turn number 1. So we'll see if Ramavaj can do that, but we're just waiting for the lights out as all the drivers then figure out what strategy go on. It should be the soft compound tyres for 9 laps, I dare say. Can they do it?
Yeah, it should be the soft, mate. So I think it'll be a dry session. Should be good.
Can't wait to see how this race unfolds. The championship is also spiced up as well between Laser Lord and MDJ. Slowly and surely, MDJ is closing in on the championship. He's 30 points behind Laser Lord as well. Laser Lord did win at the Belgian Grand Prix, I believe it was. But ever since then, MDJ has started to claw back his advantage. It took 2 points out of him in the last race. MDJ finished just ahead of Laser Lord. Harry Kane's also in P3, so McLaren and the constructors are looking really good. 500 points ahead, well, 502 points they've got, and 105 points ahead of Mercedes in the championship too, with Alpine in P3. Red Bull are currently in P4, but with Glock in the equation now, can Red Bull try and claw his way back in on Alpine?
Right, here we go, mate.
There are the lights then, we're just going to await them, and it is a jump start from Samu. Yeah, he's going to go straight into P1. No, he's not, because there's a roadblock. Glock and Ramavaj went side by side then. So Samu has already got a drive-through penalty. Overwatch gets a decent start as we head down into turn 1. Heavy braking. You can see the Ferrari has had a bit of a snap of oversteer. Maybe got tagged as well, or maybe locked the rear brakes. That's Ramavaj. He's demoted down into P4 from starting P2. Then, unfortunately, a bit of carnage going on there with Laser Law versus Samu on the medium compound tyres. There's a few on softs. I can see some on the medium compound tyres too. Unsurprisingly as well, as we head down into the second chicane we go. Let's see how they all sort themselves out. There's an Aston Martin who tries to make it 3 wide, gets pinched there, outbroke himself, had nowhere to go and had to put the car on the grass there to avoid an incident. So we all make it out clearly, I hope, for everybody at lap 1. You can see
Aston Martin got squeezed by his own teammate at the back there.
That's Casti who's dropped down the order into P17 now. So both Aston Martins had some adventures on the first lap, and they've both lost a few places as a result as well. We can see our multi-car battle going on here and trying to keep an eye on everybody, which is impossible as we head down to a scoring Ferrari down the inside. That's Gamer who cut the corner, tried to defend from Rogue Smithy. So try to settle down now. Lap 1, it should be over shortly, and Overwatch leads from Glock.
Yeah, JDM's all over the back of Martin, but Martin's got the better line into Parabolica. See if JDM can come around on the inside on those medium tyres also. So 7 drivers, well, look, 7 or 6 drivers on the medium tyre. Could that be better for them or the last 2 or 3 laps of this race? We'll soon see, because it's only 9 laps of this race.
Indeed, a Glock takes first place away from Overwatch. Gamer's already retired in the pit lane. There's a few drivers in the pits as well, so not a great lap for them. Mansell, Samu, who's serving his drive-through penalty, Cassidy and Boss Gamer are also in the pit lane too. So quite a few drivers already having problems in this sprint, and they will jump to the back of the field and have to wait for the race to end then, as Glock leads them away ahead of Overwatch, MDJ P3. However, Laser had 2 Alpines on the back of him. One of them went to the pit lane, which was Samu, to serve his penalty, and the other, I think he stayed ahead of, he's on the soft compound tyres, is Samid, whereas Harry Kane and Maki have opted to go for the medium compound tyres. Are they trying to save a set of softs towards the end? We'll see, but here we are then.
I reckon it's saving a set of softs for the race, definitely. Well, either that or the straight line speed, but it's not that much. 2 or 3 miles an hour maybe.
And already, sorry, not Samu, I was reading the comments. Already, Ramavaj has got a 3-second time penalty early doors in this race then, so not going great for him whatsoever. He's still in P4, but his advantage then is slipping away. He's got Harry Kane right behind him on the medium compound tyres. Harry Kane trying to get in the DRS as much as he can, but it's not. He's on the medium compound tyres.
Now as well, mate. There'll be an easy overtake down home, finish straight. As Laser says the fastest lap, 120.9 for this race.
And here we are into turn 1, then heavy brake. You can see Overwatch sliding through turn 1 there as the rear brakes lock up. Oliver being swamped by the Aston Martin around the outside, now has the inside line into turn 2. Can Oliver get a decent exit, better launch out the corner? Yes, he does then. And he just stays ahead of Oliver or Martin, who tried to pounce on him, and stays behind him for the time being. That's crucial there for Oliver to stay ahead of Martin, because he's on the soft compound tyre, so he doesn't want to lose out to a medium runner immediately in this race.
Yeah, it's not bothered with Rogue Smithy. He's following Martin, who's putting pressure on Oliver. But it looks like Rogue Smithy, he does have the pace, but he can't find somewhere to get through. Obviously, you can't just go past Martin because he risks hitting Oliver as well. So, interesting to see what happens with DRS.
Yeah, DRS, 2 DRS zones only around this track as Glock is right to the back of Overwatch once again. So those two will continue the scrap for P1. But this midfield battle is shapes up to be a really good one with both Aston Martins and also, sorry, as Oliver and Martin also both have tyres right behind too. You can see Rogue Smithy under attack from his teammate there. He's on the medium compound tyres. Might go side by side, but they back out there knowing there'll be DRS down the straight there to try and make their way past into turn number 1. But as we head now onto the straight, we've got Glock right behind Overwatch. These two are constantly swap positions as we head down into 1. Ramovaj all over the back there of MDJ. Glock goes a bit wide, and let's see what Overwatch does. Can he get a switch back on the Red Bull? Yes, he does there. Let's see who gets a better traction out of turn number 2. I can see Overwatch dipping out the throttle there. He wants to stay behind the Red Bull for the time being then, as MDJ is bunched up right behind, trying to capitalise on any mistakes those two do. Overwatch backing out the throttle there, doesn't want to overtake Glock, and that's quite smart waiting for the DRS.
Yeah, Rogue Smith is on Martin. I think he's going to go for a late break, but just missed it. He got Oliver into turn 1 by having the inside line locked up a little bit, which kind of forced Oliver to not to go back around the outside. He's coming back at him now, so Oliver's sucking on Rogue Smithy's gearbox. So Rogue Smithy needs to get a move on. As Oliver's chasing him down now, he wants that position back.
Yeah, he does indeed, as Oliver then lost out to an AlphaTauri, so he tried to put pressure on the Aston Martin but couldn't quite do so. Harry Kane was quite close, but not close enough. I see Oliver trying to overtake, no, he's too far back. You don't want to risk it moving to a score because it could go very wrong indeed. Side by side is not an option. If it is, you risk it spinning out or cutting the corners, which is very painful in this race. And Overwatch then, as we make our way onto the straight, he can't afford to be staying behind Glock for that long because he knows MDJ will be all over the back of him too. Here he is then, pulls at the slipstream once again. Those two traded DRS until the last lap.
Positions here, I think. Oh no, maybe not.
MDJ wasn't close enough to make a lunge into 1, so he stayed behind for the time being. Rogue Smithy alongside Martin as we head into 1 again. So Rogue Smithy overtook Oliver last time. This time it's Martin, capitalised on those soft compound tyres, gets a decent exit and goes up into P8. Great drive so far from the Canadian driver.
Ooh, Oliver going around the outside of Martin. Martin's going to go back on the Smithy. Martin should have this sealed. Yep, easy overtake for Martin there. Absolute fantastic driving from these three.
Yeah, JDM unfortunately is the back of this train as well. Dearly love to go forward, but these four in a squabble of their own, they're fighting for 8th place, and we'll see which one of them will come out top. Mediums and softs in that train as well. Both AlphaTauri splitting strategies for good measure as well, but I don't expect any one-stops, especially with a sprint. Here comes Oliver on the AlphaTauri, so Rogue Smithy lost start in the second Lesmo, but you don't want to go side by side, better contact into Ascari, and he claims the racing line. Simon picks up a 3-second tap onto JDM, trying to go out the outside, but he couldn't quite do so. So a bit of contact going to Ascari between those two.
Yeah, well, they need to be careful though, because they've got to remember any penalties or any stewarding for the sprint race is presided over a lot more strictly. So any incidents are probably going to worth double what you get in the race. So drivers really need to be careful when they're going wheel to wheel here. It can really affect people's main race result, because obviously it's set by the sprint race. So yeah, it's good to see him going elbow to elbow, but yeah, they need to be very careful.
Look at this.
Spiffy gets turned round by Oliver, I believe, or maybe JDM.
While all that was going on, we've got AlphaTauri versus Mercedes once again. This time it's JDM on Oliver. Rogue Smithy unfortunately spinning into 1, being tied by Oliver, like you said. But while all that was happening, Glock outbroke himself into turn number 1, trying to defend from Overwatch. I think he outbroke himself plainly. I think Overwatch did first. Glock losing traction coming out the second Lesmo then. So how are those soft compound tyres holding up? He's got a medium runner of Harry Kane right behind him then. So looking to pounce at any given moment he can. But Glock needs to be careful now. Doesn't want to get himself outside the 1 second range of DRS. But Glock then...
I think something's happened here, mate, because Laser was right behind Harry. Now Ramovaj just split the two. So I wonder if Laser had an issue.
Yeah, that's right, indeed. Laser there in P6 there. He's been overtaken by Ramovaj. Here we are then. So Laser Lord is losing ground into Parabolic we go. Laser trying to do the switchback, but who will get the DRS I wonder out of these two? As we'll see then, it looks like it's going to be Laser's favour towards the DRS. As Ramovaj there will have to tuck into the situation. We've got yellow flags already. That's Oliver who might be dropping down the order.
Good luck. Doesn't look like any issues. He's got DRS off someone. Oh, that's strange.
I think I know what happened. I think JDM and Oliver made contact because they're quite far down the order. Well, further down the order than when they were. He's outbroke himself into turn number 1 as well. Oliver came out the corner very slowly, so I wonder if he spun the car, collected it, and made contact with JDM somewhere. Rogue Smithy is back through because he spun a lap ago, and now he's back ahead of his teammates. So I think those two were a culprit into. Oh, there's contact between Bossy Gamer and Samu there. Samu tried to overtake the Alfa Romeo, but couldn't quite do it as he remains in P16. Then he got a drive-through penalty, did the RP driver, and unfortunately not got his way. But hopefully in the future it'll go his way. But lost a lot already.
Well, 2 laps remaining now. We've got Harry Kane chasing down the back of Glock. I mean, this front pack's really close together. There's only 0.2 between Harry and Glock. And, yeah, it looks like it could be an overtake down the home finish straight for Harry. Laser's now back behind his teammate, but lagging by nearly 2 seconds. As we see Glock all over the back of MDJ as well. This could be a mangle of a tussle going into turn 1.
How are these four going to sort themselves out? We're on the penultimate lap of this race. You can see Overwatch being swamped. He might lose 2 places at once here as we head into one. There's contact with the late braking and carrying a lot of speed down the straight with the help of DRS. Overwatch and Glock side by side out of turn number 2. Glock looks like he's got a better exit. Has also used this ERS to stay ahead as well, and Overwatch is in P3, so he lost that 2 places in 1 there, but MDJ is in the worst place to be in the last lap. He's in first. Look at Harry Kane trying to go down the inside. He's a lot of brakes into the second chicane. We go with the Haas, goes off the track there, and Harry Kane is ahead in P3, so Overwatch went from first down to 4th under 1 lap as well, so that cost him dearly.
Yeah, I'm not sure if MDJ actually lifted before that corner then, just to create a bit more of a problem for Glock behind, because it seemed to slow. I mean, if he did, it's quite a clever move, because Glock didn't know where to go. And he's all over the Baku now. He's got a lap and a half remaining of this race. Will Glock be able to get past MDJ?
This is only the sprint race, but when it comes to the feature race, I cannot wait to see what happens between all these drivers. All these drivers with each other this season, fighting majority of the season. We've got Harry Kane, we've got Laser versus Ramovaj once again in the final corner, but I think Ramovaj will have the advantage with the DRS on the last lap. But this is crucial now. MDJ could get swallowed up on the straight here with 3 behind, having DRS. Overwatch is a bit further back than he wants to be. Glock carrying a lot of speed with the help of DRS and also the battery. MDJ goes defensive. The contact. Harry Kane sends it down the inside. Gets 2 places at once. What a move there from Harry Kane. Glock and MDJ are side by side out of turn 2. But MDJ has a poor exit. Overwatch is back into P3. Glock is up into P2. Mikey de Jong has lost 3 places in 1 there, being last on the first lap. Same what happened to Overwatch. First down to P4.
That was a monumental move from Harry. Opportunistic, saw that Glock was moving over and just absolutely sent it. Licked that stamp and sent it.
Unbelievable move from Harry Kane. The man on the medium compound tyres capitalised on that as well. Was able to stay in this straight. He wasn't dropping off too much on those mediums, but it's worked out so far in his favour and should become the race victory. Lost Glock can't say anything about that. He's got DRS. Will he send the last lap move into Ascari? We got a lot of overspeed. Look at that. Look at this. Glock around the outside into Ascari. Can he make it stick? He goes off the track. Well, exceeds challenges, I think, but stays on it. Harry Kane trying to fight back. This is going to be a drag race all the way down into Parabolica. Who has the straight line speed? Who has the battery? Harry Kane trying to go for the inside line. Into the final corner we go. Remember, this is a sprint race, so if you make contact, you got a lot to lose. They both look at that. Glock struggling there with the back end of the car, stepping out. We go side by side. Overwatch is overtaking Glock. And here we are then. Glock finishes in P3. Is the one it goes. Oh my goodness me. Oh, at least he's classified though, that's the main important thing. Overwatch left, by the way, so he needs to get back in there immediately. Oh, what a race. I think crossplay's got something to do with it, but I'm not quite sure because I know crossplay is not that great. Although we got one driver in here on PC, by the way.
Who is it that's on PC, do we know?
Or is it Xbox? I can't quite...
HP Gamer, I think it's HP Gamer.
Is it Xbox or PC?
Xbox, I think.
Wow, what a last lap that was. 4 cars in a battle with the DRS. Whoever came out first on the last lap fell down the order, gave the win to their rivals. That's what happens around this track and any other track with a long straight. You just don't want to be last when it comes to the last lap of the race. You don't want to be first, sorry, when it comes to the last lap of the race in a DRS train, otherwise you get swamped. We saw a great battle with Harry Kane and Overwatch. Overwatch left the session once again.
Yeah, let me just check Discord, mate. Nah, nothing, nothing on the hot sheets, mate. Should be alright.
So I'm watching the last lap back, and it looks like MDJ slightly moved on the straight, and Glock's front wing tagged him in the rear, so he couldn't get past. There was not enough room to get past. I think MDJ moved back in the middle. Already, the lights are going to go out very shortly then, as I need to get a good camera angle. 2 drivers in the pit lane, by the way, so they having a pit lane start, changing themselves.
Who do you think they are? Aston Martin? Or was it Haas, sorry?
Both. Yeah, both teams started the pit lane. Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Alonso, Stroll.
Wow. It's settled out now, I think. Yeah, I think it was just lobby catching up with what was actually happening.
Yeah, this game is absolutely great for sorting things out, because there's been a lot of lobby restarts recently in the F1 game, not only in SFR but any other league you go to. There's always been internet connection issues around here. So F123 also not making any improvements with the game at all in terms of bugs and glitches we're always having around here, especially with the safety car coming out before the lights go out too, which is quite bizarre. But yeah, this game, even though we're a few months into it, still hasn't fixed itself.
Yeah, I'm a bit good about that. I mean, I'd love to utilise the red flag feature. I think it's a great addition, and it just doesn't work. I mean, we've not had it on at all because of the bugs that's associated with it. Same with formation lap, that's still off. And I'm seeing it across the leagues, they're keeping it off as well until they see that the issue's resolved. But, yeah, still, Cody's in here, doing what they do best.
Yeah, Burmeister in the chat is not racing today, but he says it's because of crossplay, and I agree to a certain extent. We've experimented with crossplay. It's not really been great because you teleport back and forth, but we've got a driver on a different console here, so that's why we have crossplay on. Otherwise, it would have been off, but it's unfortunate. But hopefully, it can sort itself out, because we'd love to have a crossplay between Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. But the EA Sports and Codemasters just can't work to make a good game. Hopefully, we can get going, because we've been on this loading screen for quite a while
Yeah,
now.
I've just got an invite. I think it's your new lobby, mate.
A new lobby indeed. So we'll come back to this, and we'll wait for the lights to go out with Harry Kane on pole. So I think it's best to take a screenshot of the results and sort this lobby out.
It's saying game session cannot join this session. Eve.
For those of you that's just joined the stream, go back to the last lap of the race, because that was incredible. 4-way fight for first place. MDJ defended for his life, but there was nothing he could do with the power of the DRS. So we had Glock and Overwatch fighting for P1 as well. It was actually Overwatch and Harry Kane, I believe it was. But there was so much happening in that race, it was unbelievable to watch.
Join.
I'm in the session, so I will grab... Oop, what's happened here? Have I joined back the same session?
I'm not sure. It might have been Martin sending an invite out because people left. I don't know.
I left the session because I thought it was a lobby restart, but I'm back in the same session I was in.
Yeah, it might just be that Martin was sending out new invites for people that had left the lobby. Anyway, it'd be.
I really hope the race hasn't got away, otherwise we'll miss the first lap, which is very important indeed, as all the drivers try and get as many positions as they can and try and settle into a rhythm, but we're still on the loader screen.
We're fine. Yeah, we're fine.
While we're on the loading screen, Dan, what do you think's been the best race of the season so far?
Oh, now you're talking. Oof. Hungry for me, I think.
Hungary, that's an interesting decision. I actually don't know, but it's been a lot of great races this season, and there's been a lot to rewatch as well because there's been so much happening between the pack. I love the fights between Glock, MDJ, Hurricane, Laser Lord, Overwatch. He's joined in Hungary, did Overwatch. Harry Hazara as well. He's been a great driver to watch. Burmeister, and yeah, all these drivers are incredible racing as well.
Yeah, I think Zandvoort was all right last week, and Belgium was a belter as well.
Yeah, it was indeed. I think a safety car came out as well during that race and mixed up people's strategies.
Yeah, and it's been a long season so far, but definitely Silverstone also stands out as a good one for me.
Oh yeah, the British GP as well. Hazara. Well, here we are then for the race. It looks like a Haas is ghosted, so hopefully he's in the session. That is Overwatch in P2, who is not a solid car, but the lights are underway then. I think Overwatch is back in the session. He's being swamped by the field. He gets dropped into P5, I think. Yes, he has there. There's a Williams there of Mackie trying to make advantage as we head into turn number 1 we go. Here we are, 3 abreast into turn 1. We've got a Mercedes off the track there, taking to the runoff area. That is... who is that? I can't quite tell who it is.
We got Samad and Mansell at the back that collided down the unfinished straight. We also had Ramavad that had a really slow start. He got overtaken by about 8 drivers, but then managed to get back up another 2 or 3 positions. So yeah, Mansell and Samad having some serious issues at the back. We've got another car round, which is Cassidy, who's spun. So we've got drivers all across the field going off, and I reckon, how's that not a virtual safety car? I have no idea. But we've also got another Red Bull going off track, a Red Bull of Zenon, who'd also come off the track.
Oh, look at this JDM up the inside, and Bossy Gamers taking advantage as Martin went wide as the second Lesmo allowed the Alfa Romeo through. Now he's being hunted down. Here comes Bossy Gaming on the Aston Martin driver, the Alfa Tauri drivers. We head into Ascari. Oh, around the outside he goes, and he maintains the position. Glock and Overwatch are fighting again. Here we are then, into P5 goes Overwatch, and Glock is to P6. So Overwatch is trying to make amends after he lost a few positions at the start of the Grand Prix to P2. Down into P5, but we've still got a long way to go. Anything can happen. Ramavaj making moves. There's a multi-car battle already. Harry Kane sets the fastest lap of the race, and my graphics have disappeared. Here we are then. We're back on board, and we've got Overwatch to the softs then. So that's an interesting strategy. When you see them.
Just noticed that myself, but I mean, the majority of these drivers choosing mediums, with a few lonely drivers on the hards, but yet only 2 drivers started on the soft, Mansell and Overwatch.
That is both Hasses as well, so quite surprised at their strategy. So Overwatch there, like he did at the Hungarian Grand Prix, started on those softs. He's overtaken Laser, he moves himself up into P4 he goes. So that's very crucial then for Overwatch to make these positions as much as he can to benefit and capitalise on those soft compound tyres. Multi-car battle once again. JDM is slowing down to allow the Alfa Romeo through, so I presume they both had contact somewhere on the lap. And now JDM under pressure from Martin, who's under pressure from Ramavaj as well.
Yeah, Overwatch making moves now. We're just getting past Mackey. He's making some real progress on these softs. I'm wondering if he's going to try and get to the front and then in clean air extend the life of these softs with his general pace that he's got. And maybe, just maybe, try and make the soft medium work. It's a big ask, but yeah, it is possible.
It's an absolute huge ask as well. Look at the Aston Martin with a straight line speed. Got past both of them before Parabolica. Bossy Gaming down the inside with his late braking as well. Ramavaj around the outside of the Alfa Tauri. Overwatch has the fastest lap, as you expect on those soft compound tyres. We head off to lap 3 then. DRS will be enabled. This multi-car battle is going on. JDM is boxed in with the Aston Martin and the Alfa Romeo. There's nowhere to go. Look at Ramavaj trying to get in on the action as well as we head down into turn 1. The Alfa Romeo and the Aston Martin side by side. Let's see. You can see the Alfa Romeo sliding through turn 2. As they make our way out, it looks like the Aston Martin wins out this battle. Martin there defended from about 5 cars right behind him then, as once again the Alfa Romeo make his way through on the Aston Martin. Look at the Alfa Tauri is also trying to take advantage of that as well as we head down into the second chicane. Ramavaj is off the track there, outbroke himself and tried to avoid the rest of them. He comes back on the track there and he falls down into P13. So there's a lot going on early stages of this race.
Yeah, there is. I'm just looking as well. There's quite a few drivers that are sort of like within that DRS, but it's just been neutralised because of the low downforce setups that everyone's got on. I think it is going to come down to tyres and it's going to come down to ERS.
Indeed, as well, strategy for Overwatch will be crucial as well. Overwatch cannot afford to be stuck in this DRS trade. He needs to be going forwards. He went backwards at the start of the Grand Prix. Not quite sure if that was him come back in the session or not. He was ghosted, and Samu has overtaken Martin. So Samu, who starts at the back of the field due to his drive-through penalties, Overwatch weaving left or right. So I'm not quite sure if he's happy or not with what MDJ is doing. But here we are, then heading on to lap 4. Overwatch, look at MDJ overtaking Hurricane. Overwatch might take advantage as well. He can't afford. He's making it 3 wide. Into turn 1 we go. And he doubled on the brakes there. Mackett makes contact with the Haas driver. You can see him all over the road. So, in fact, Overwatch tried to gain 2, but lost 1.
Yeah, and he was getting pressured by Laser. Laser's like, I think he might have made this stick into the first. Is the first Lesnar this one?
That's the second chicane. I can't actually remember what that was called. I actually forgot.
This is Lesnar 1 and then Lesnar 2 after that, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think Laser's made the right choice on those hard tyres because he'll probably go hard soft. It just depends if the medium tyres of Mackett is going to slow him up when he tries to pass him. But I've got a sneaky feeling the hard tyres, the tyre to start on here.
Yeah, you can extend those hard compound tyres and minimise the stint on the mediums as well, make them the best tyres towards the end of the Grand Prix. The strategy is a one-stop around here, so I'm intrigued to see how Overwatch does this. Was he anticipating an early safety car in this race? Because that is the only, I dare say, solution that might help him during this race, because going from soft to hard or soft to medium for him won't help whatsoever, so he might be under massive pressure. Those soft compound tyres he's stuck in P4 would dearly love to clear these cars, but he can't do it. So we're on board with Samuel Pepito a few moments ago, trying to overtake Bossy Gaming, but we're back on board with the leaders to see what happens. The leads change hands once again with MDJ up into P1. Mackett driving an incredible race here. In P3 we've got a Red Bull up the inside. That is Glock.
Glock going down the inside of Laser, but now he's being pushed off to the side. And then Laser loses out to Rogue Smithy anyway, so yeah, not sure what's really going on there. I think it might have been an opportunistic move from Glock, but that's now put Rogue Smithy through, so he's happy about that. I was going to say as well, mate, the tyre wear is worth noting. Tyre wear around here is surprisingly high, regardless of what tyre you're on. A very strange circuit for that. That is something to watch out for. Softs, you've probably got another 3 laps before they start struggling. Mediums, you've got another maybe 9.
A bit of drivers going a bit aggressive here with Samu, and Bossy Gaming made contact into the Della Rocha chicane, and Martin takes advantage. He moves himself up into P8, so there's a lot going on there at the lead and in the midfield there, with the gap fast separated by 5.7 seconds. So fighting a lot on the first lap has cost him dearly. Overwatch is right behind Mackett, essentially pushed him through the corners too. Bossy Gaming overtakes Martin, he's up into P8. As you can see, Overwatch is right behind Mackett then. His soft compound tyres will probably not be in the best shape as they want them to be, because they do fade away quite rapidly around here. It's more of a qualified tyre in my opinion, unless a late safety car does appear towards the end of the race. But here we are on the straight with DRS once again. What will Overwatch do? Will he overtake the Williams into turn 1? The Williams goes to the right hand side quite early, so as Overwatch tries to look for an overtake, but there's nothing doing on that occasion, so has to sit back for the time being. Martin has overtaken Bossy Gaming, who's been overtaken by the Ferrari, as he had no DRS to protect himself. And the AlphaTauri might take advantage too, with the Mercedes up the inside, so this multi-car battle is still going on there. This is like a second train as well, essentially.
Well, yeah, it is. I mean, if you look at Martin, he's 6 seconds behind Glock. So you've got P1 to P7, and then got a second race going on. That's Martin further on. Martin's just getting overtaken by Ramovac again. These two swapping places again. So Bossy, Martin, Ramovac all trading places. But yeah, Oliver had a really difficult last part of that lap then, because he got overtaken by 2 drivers and managed to overtake 1 more. But yeah, Oliver slightly off the pace. He used to like it round here as well. So I'm not sure what's going on with Oliver, but he needs to get his focus on.
Yeah, he does indeed. This multi-car battle that's trading positions constantly, because what these guys are doing is trying to be patient and not overtake in the first stint, because you just want to follow each other. But Rogue Smith is doing a really great job after qualifying, making those positions up in the sprint race, started high in the feature. Look where he is now, right behind Overwatch as well. So I wonder if Overwatch might be struggling on his soft compound tyres. I know it's only lap 7, but these softs can drop off dramatically. And here we are with Rogue Smithy as well, side by side with the Hasman, as Hurricane's right behind MDJ, slots into P2 there, doesn't want to overtake him immediately, just waiting for the DRS, and Rogue Smithy actually doesn't overtake him. Once again, JDM and that pack are fighting each other, overtaking, and JDM's up into P10 ahead of Bossy Gaming. Had no DRS on that occasion. The Ferrari, who's hit the back of somebody, I couldn't quite see.
Yeah, he hit the back of Sam.
He goes off the track and gets a 2-second time penalty as well. The People's Hero, Samu, in P13, there was in the top 10 momentarily, but they had a huge squabble and ended up in contact as well. There's a VSC for Aston Martin.
So Oliver went to go down the inside. I think that spooked HP8 Gamer a little bit, and then HP8 Gamer went into the back of Sammy Pepito, or Sammy Pepito missed his brake and went straight on, and that spooked HP8 Gamer. But yeah, that was the catalyst. But Oliver just went through two people in one corner, so fair play. As we said about getting his focus, well, he certainly made his focus then, because he made up two positions in one corner.
Cassidy gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I think he was the one that caused the VSC, so he's in the pit lane now to get rid of those soft compound tyres. How long will this VSC stay out for? Could Overwatch potentially gain an advantage due to this? The VSC has to stay out longer, much longer for him to work on the strategy. Let's see what he does there. When he goes to the pit lane, yes he does. It's the pit lane he goes. Overwatch changing those soft compound tyres as Gamers retired on the track. Oh, Glock gets a 5-second time penalty for spinning the pit lane. And he's coming in to go on the medium compound tyres. Is that a bit early, I wonder?
HP Gamers lost it coming through Ascari.
How will people get a 5-second time penalty under a VSC? It's a safety car! A full-blown safety car has been appeared.
There you go. So, 20 laps to go. That's too much for the medium. So anyone on hard tyre is going to be disadvantaged here. So I think the hard tyre runners have to stay out. Medium tyre runners, absolutely brilliant. They can go on the hards and go to the end. Anyone that's now on the softs, like Glock, JDM's out on the intermediates.
Yeah, I think that's the best strategy on the intermediates for this.
Yeah, I think it's genius. I actually think it's a genius move here. We are in the room of brilliance. I did not see that awesome play coming from JDM there. I mean, that is fantastic. So yeah, I think, Sammy Pepito is now on hard tyres. He can go to the end. Martin Ramavaj, hards to the end. Overwatch is going to struggle. 20 lap on mediums. Oh, it's going to be tight, depending on how long this safety car is.
I will grab a glass of water. I'm still ill, by the way, so I've not recovered still.
Have some ham and pea soup, mate. So yeah, interesting strategies from all the drivers here. I think Glock's going to really struggle on these soft tyres because he's going to have to pit again unless there's another safety car or a virtual safety car. That is him not having a great race. You've got Mackett and Rogue Smithy. What's happening here? Going in. Oh, I think Mackett might have overtaken Rogue Smithy into pit there. So looks like Harry in the pits, going on softs for Harry. MDJ's got on mediums now. I actually think Harry's done the right thing there because taking the mediums by the time they get going, 17 laps, it's going to be difficult. So you may as well just do an aggressive two-stop. Maybe split the remaining laps into two soft runs if he's got the soft tyres available, or maybe do a soft medium. Yeah, very interesting. So yeah, JDM back in the pits, second guessing his awesome strategy of intermediates. So I wonder if DJ can be competitive on these mediums to the end. The only thing that he's got going from here really is Mackett and Rogue Smithy on the hards might just act as a bit of a buffer for everyone else behind. Discounting Overwatch will be in the mix as well. So Harry Kane, MDJ's best chance here is for Harry Kane to hold up Overwatch. If Overwatch gets ahead of Harry, I think that's Overwatch winning this race, providing those tyres hold on to the end.
I just came back and I've seen a lot of people dive to the pit lane. I expected this, because I know we say it's a bit too early for those on the hardcore power tyres to pit, but they have to really because they lose a lot of time in the middle stint. As for a normal lap, like lap 17, 18, they pitted onto the medium compound tyres, whereas theoretically, the guys who already pitted during the safety car will have to make a big deficit up. It all depends on safety cars coming out as well later on in this race. Yeah. But yeah, lap 8, it looks like it's the way to go on the mediums, but there's a long stint on the mediums. I've seen a lot of surprising things.
You've also got Harry Kane that's decided to do a two-stop because you can't obviously get those softs to the end. So he's already decided that he wants to go on a two-stop strategy. So if he's got another set of softs, it'll be softs, unless it was going to be soft mediums. So, interesting choice from the drivers.
He did use a set of mediums in the sprint race as well, so I wonder if he's saved up a set of softs for this race too. So we'll see if it works out for him.
But I don't think. Are you really going to have that tyre delta against mediums to make a two-stop work? I mean, you're going to lose 19 seconds in the pits. I don't think the delta is different between the tyres. I think hards are only 0.8 slower than softs a lap, so I'm not sure you've got the delta in your favour to make a two-stop work round here when you've only got 17 laps remaining. You know, that really only gives you 8 laps a stint.
I think Harry Kane is not in a great position in P3. He's definitely got to utilise those soft compound tyres. Overwatch, I thought he would have went from softs to hards, but he's on the mediums, so he had the choice whether to go on the hards or mediums and opted on that medium strategy. Same as Laser, I don't think he had no choice starting on the hard compound tyres. Same with MDJ too. So for those who started the mediums, this is looking really great because theoretically they can take their hards towards the end after another stop. But for those on the medium compound tyres, it could be a bit of a stretch.
Yeah, I mean, I think Mackett and Rogue Smith are in a good place here. As long as they don't do anything stupid and they just keep on the back of the front three, I think their time will come later on in the race. You know, maybe 4 or 5 laps from the end, those hard tyres are going to be superior compared to the worn soft, or super worn softs and pretty worn mediums. So this is actually spiced it up quite a bit. So this is really interesting to see.
Yeah, Mackett in P4 at the moment, looking to try and score his best result of the season too. So he's currently in 8th place in the championship, 10 points behind JDM, and JDM's in P14, so Mackett can try and score a lot of points to try and claim his first podium of the season if he can. He's got 3 people ahead of him on different strategies on the medium, so those mediums will be fading away, depends if they don't pit again, which they shouldn't do because they'll have a lot of time to make up. Harry Kane, we all know he's going to pit again.
I think we've got another lap behind this safety car, which to be honest with you only helps Harry massively here. I mean, not to the point where you're going to make those softs go to the end, but actually, does it help him? No, because you kind of want the laps, don't you? You want the laps to make use of those softs, so this is actually not helping Harry.
It helps those in the mediums. They try to go towards the end, but the softs, it doesn't help. They want to bolt off immediately.
Yeah, you kind of want to get the Mr. Feelgood running, don't you, and get him in use.
Yeah, you want the best of them.
So Salmon's decided against those softs. He's come back in the pits. He's going to put the mediums on. So yeah, that's kind of just proving what we thought about the softs. And I'm surprised Harry Kane's actually doubling down and staying on them. I think he's going to wait for another safety car. But I think you'd have to have the safety car come out maybe lap 19, 20, or maybe lap 17 to have any chance of making that two-stop work.
Yeah, I think another safety car, that's definitely be Harry Kane's solution to his problems at the moment. But if there's no safety car or VSC, then I think Harry Kane's a bit of a bother there. So a safety car for him will have to save his strategy because I don't think he'll make up that big deficit towards the end of the race once he pits again. And those on the hards can take them towards the end, no problem. Mediums could be a little bit of a stretch, but we'll see. I've seen a lot of surprising things, and if you stay in that DRS train in that pack and just try not to push those mediums too hard, MDJ's however first place, but he might have to give way to Harry Kane on those soft compound tyres, so he won't have to fight him too hard.
Yeah, I think this safety car is going to come in regardless. Yeah, there you go, safety car in this lap. So unfortunately, Cassidy needs to get a move on. He might just make it actually if he's quick enough. Through Lesmo 1 and 2.
Yeah, Cassidy is the one that caused the VSC and the safety car almost got lapped, but the safety car definitely helped him, but unfortunately he's a bit too far away. Sammy came in the pit lane on the medium set of compound tyres, so he's got the freshest tyres out of the lot, and let's see if that helps him towards the end of the race as well. P16 had a DNF back at the Dutch Grand Prix, finished in P4 I believe at the Singapore's next race at the Belgian Grand Prix after he lost the podium towards Harry Kane, making a mistake in Rivage. Here's Harry Kane in P2 looking great all race long, but unfortunately I don't think he's on the right strategy. So here we are headed towards Parabolica then, so MDJ will become the effective safety car leader as he'll be his choice when to pull away.
He's gone.
It's the right place to pull away as well because it's very hard to pick up the throttle there at the exit of Parabolica with traction. So here we are, he's got a good margin of Hurricane. Look at Hurricane under pressure from Overwatch as they go side by side then on the main straight as we head down into turn number 1. So Hurricane wants to gain places, but he's losing one so far, but late breaking into 1 and turn 2. Hurricane still around the outside. Will he get better traction with those soft compound tyres? Yes, he does, better contact too. Ramovaj cuts the corner, so that's a 3-second time penalty immediately for him as Hurricane stays in P2, so looking to progress towards MDJ, but got swallowed up by Overwatch. So crucially, stayed ahead of the Hassman, which is very important for him to make his strategy work out indeed. So the Aston Martin there, right behind the Mercedes of Oliver, but can't quite make a lunge as JDM and Zenom exchange positions. JDM gets big contact, and there's an Aston Martin in the wall with a Red Bull 2.
Oof, not what they wanted to see.
And that was Casti as well, so Casti there really not enjoying this track.
Race, is it?
no, he's not indeed. I think Zenom got tagged by the left front, and there was, unfortunately spun out, so took Cassidy with him. I think Cassidy wasn't an innocent bystander in that one, as Ramovaj has overtaken Martin then into Ascari, so not really a common place to overtake. But there's a crash! There's a crash with the Aston Martin and the Red Bull. They both tagged each other, and Martin's lost his front wing, so both Aston Martins there, unfortunately, will be back in the field.
Was that the Red Bull of Glock, was it?
Zenom, sorry.
Oh, Zenom.
Hurricane, however, has set the fastest lap of this race.
Yeah, I missed him getting in lead there as well. So obviously Hurricane making those soft tyres work around Parabolica, getting the better launch out and down the home finish straight. That is exactly what he wanted, but Overwatch needs to get in front of MDJ quickly and rapido.
I see Zenom off the track there as Samid and JDM are squabbling over P10 as Aston Martin in the final corner causing a yellow flag. That is Cassidy's. Martin is in the pit lane on the soft compound tyres there, so yeah, looking great so far. And more yellow flags. I think the Aston Martin's actually slowing down at Cassidy there. Not quite sure what he's up to, but he's back in the pit lane now, and we'll see. Yeah, it is. At least he's not done it on track, so fair play for trying to stay in the race, but unfortunately couldn't make it work. So he's in the pit lane to retire, call it a day so far, as Hurricane leads by 5/10, but I think being in a DRS train, I think it will help the medium compound tyres as well. 2 DRS sides around here, and Hurricane will be able to pull away from MDJ and Overwatch as well. Overwatch, despite a difficult start, he's on the soft compound tyres. He was on the soft compound tyres at the start, but he's on the mediums now, so let's see if that works. That safety car definitely helped Overwatch too.
Just jump on board with Laser, mate, because he's got potential to make 2 overtakes here if he can time this right. No, it might only be 1. Moves to the right of Rogue Smithy, and it should just be the 1 overtake. But yeah, he has superior battery life then coming down the unfinished straight. I thought it was going to be 2, but yeah, he just managed to get the 1.
Yeah, Maki is dropping off the top 3. That's because he's on the hard compound tyres, so they expect him to stay in that DRS train. But his tyres should be beneficial towards the later end of the Grand Prix. So Maki might have to suffer now, but be rewarded later on those hard compound tyres.
Though, wow.
I have noticed that too. The connection around here is not quite strong.
Yeah, anyone that's racing around Maki seems to be lagging. Everyone else seems to be fine, but well, I'll say that it might not be Mackie's internet, it might be the player-to-player connection, but generally speaking, it normally is the driver that you're racing next to. Hopefully this settles out and doesn't cause any issues.
I'm surprised MDJ's used his battery through places like Ascari, because you have a lot of wheel spin with a lot of power, a lot of demand from the battery as well. Places like that, so be very careful where you use your ERS.
MDJ being really smart there, choosing not to overtake down the approach to Parabolica. Just to make sure he got DRS down the finish straight, but in doing so, he dropped a little bit back. I think he's run himself out of time here. He might not have enough meters to get this done. It's going to be tight.
I think.
Yeah, I don't think he's.
Also, I just saw Laser overtake Mackett in Parabolica.
Oh wow. Oh, Mackett's had an issue.
Yeah, Rogue Smithy's passed him as well with late braking skills and moves himself over to P5. So Mackett there might have had a problem. There's a Ferrari off the track. That's Ramovaj once again. And he's retired on the circuit.
Oh, what are you doing, Ramovaj?
Oh, Alpine almost made contact with him too. Yeah, I know how it feels when people see people retire on the track. It's not great whatsoever. If you're going to retire, just do it in the pit lane, you know what I mean? Because it causes a lot of problems.
Yeah,
it's a shame there for the Ferrari, man. There's a lot of lag in there.
Yeah, as soon as you do that, as soon as you leave a session, mud session like that, you start getting lag. That's an instant penalty for Ramovac.
Yeah, it was caught on stream, and yeah, it'll be reported to the stewards, I'm sure of it, as Martin out there in P16 quite far behind, but staying in this race as well. I know it's not, I know, but there's still points to be offered by a long shot as well in the race. So he was in a point scoring position, but kept outbreaking himself into turn one. He picked up penalties due to that in the sprint race too. Oh, there's an AlphaTauri who's lost it out of Ascari there. I think it was JDM, but MDJ then takes the lead of the race then on lap 16. Harry Kane's tyres might be done here on the soft compound tyres. Wasn't able to pull away and use that to his advantage, so he'll be stuck there with MDJ.
Yeah, I mean, it could just help him tow along. I mean, he's got 11 laps remaining of this race. They're certainly not going to get to the end without puncturing. But it might just be holding out for a safety car, because you're certainly not going to push past MDJ now on those tyres.
Oh, I'm on board with Mackett there. He's lagging all over the place as Cassidy has finally left the session due to retired early on as well. But yeah, Harry Kane, he'll stay in his DRS for sure, but he can't do anything about it now. He can't pull away with the pure pace. The DRS is just too powerful around here, and no matter what tyres you're on, it's just too hard to pull away or get ahead of your rivals. But Harry Kane's still going for it though in the DRS. Overwatch has dropped back quite a lot. That's interesting.
Yeah, just on that straight there alone, it was 2 tenths that improved by, just between Lesmo 2 and Ascari. So yeah, I think if MDJ and Harry are working together, it's certainly working. That has come back down to 2.7, but I imagine by the end of this straight it'll be back up to 3.1ish.
I'm surprised about Overwatch as well, because he's dropped.
Harry's in.
Yeah, he is. So that's a short stint on the soft compartage, as you expect. But let's see, with 10 laps to go, can he make that deficit up? I don't think he can. The best scenario for him now is to try and make up as many places as you can inside the top 10.
Yeah, and it's another set of mediums for him.
We'll have the tyre life towards the end, but the best he could do is just try and get himself inside the top 10.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's going to make up many moves from that. I mean, he's got, oh wow, 7 seconds maybe to make up once it comes out. Yep, 7. Yeah, stabilised at 7.4 seconds.
Yeah, there's no way he's going to do that at all. Is Harry Kane, so
I reckon P9 is the best he can get, but I'd like to see him prove me wrong.
Yeah, Harry Kane's got the pace, but strategy today hasn't worked out, and going on the soft compound tyres during that stint was never going to work unless the safety car was going to come out too. We'll have the best tyres towards the end, but I don't think he'll catch up. Mackett up into P5.
Was it Samad that bailed on the softs behind the safety car and came in and put mediums on? He's up to P9 now. In fact, yeah, it is Samad, because he's on 7 lap old mediums, everyone else on 8 lap or 9 lap. So yeah, Samad actually aborted the softs. And he's made his way back up to P9 from almost last place. So, yeah, if Harry had done the same, Harry would have been in the same position now, and in the mid-pack, but now he's got to fight his way back. Although he has made up nearly 2 seconds in 1 lap alone, so he's certainly got the pace.
Lays on Overwatch, he's moved himself up into P2, and Rogue Smithy and Mackett are constantly fighting there. Oh, a bit of contact into turn 1. I think that's Mackett's lag, not being sick there with the AlphaTauri. I don't think
Smithy's looking good here, mate. He's on the hard tyre, the more resilient tyre. He's only been on them 9 laps, so I think if he can keep this clean air now, make sure Mackey doesn't overtake him again. If he's careful, doesn't use his battery, and just catches up, he could be on for a podium here.
Yeah, those hardcore part tyres I think will be in the best shape towards the end. Those mediums will be fading away, so all eyes on Rogue Smithy and Mackey. I think the best scenario for those two is not to fight. They've got to use each other for DRS. Just leapfrog ahead of each other and try and edge themselves towards the media runners as well. So the more these two fight, the more time they'll lose, and the more hard work they'll have to do for themselves to try and claw their way back in, like Hamilton tries to do on Norris and Verstappen back at USA. But here we are there. Rogue Smithy could be on course for a podium. Overwatch and Laserlord are fights over P2. So Overwatch's pace has dissipated just a bit because he's dropped back quite behind MDJ. He was in that top 3 fight with Harry Kane and MDJ. So wonder what's happened to him. So Laser's got him up into P2. The top 2 of the championship are P1 and P2. Overwatch in P3 there, just moved to the right hand side. I suspect he might have picked up a little bit of damage because we did see him make some moves and tap the back of people. Glock side by side with Oliver, and Glock has been in the gravel too. And here comes the Haas, but he doesn't make a move. He stays behind for the time being. So outbreaks himself into turn 1. He did that in the sprint race as well. That will cost him P1 in the race too. But this time he makes it out of the corner at turn number 2 with the Mercedes right behind him of Oliver and Monza. Oliver did a great job again. He was in that multi-car battle during the first stint, but it looks like he's settled down now, and a three-way fight between Glock and Monza.
Yeah, I was just looking at Oliver. He's having a great race, but back to Rogue Smithy, mate. I think he's almost approaching the crossover for these mediums and the hards, because he's brought it half a second down.
Oh no, Mackett spun. Oh, that's
wow.
going to be a big disappointment for him. He was in a great position in P5. I was on board with Glock, and I saw Williams just spinning there, and it was Mackett, so he's fallen down as P11.
Oh wow. I bet that's forced a lot of drivers to quickly select softs, but yeah, no safety car, no virtual safety car. Rogue Smithy, as I was saying, has now actually dropped down nearly 3 seconds now, so whatever was happening for him isn't happening anymore.
No, Harry Kane! Harry Kane is out of the race! A safety car's been deployed! What's happened to him? He's dropped out of Ascari.
Oh, Rogue Smithy managed to get in the pit, so he'll be putting softs on. So Rogue Smithy's landing on his feet here. Overwatch, Laser and MDJ are going to have to go all the way around the circuit again. This should mean... will it mean that Smith will come out? I'm not sure it will.
Where is the safety car? It's that turn 1, I think. So I think MDJ, Laser and Overwatch are free to go to the pit lane because they've got the Delta still. But if they caught up to the safety car, let's say the safety car came out right in front of them right now, that means they're in a big disadvantage because they can't pit. Well, they can, but they'll drop towards the back of the field.
Through, I think, won't they?
Yeah, they'll have another lap, luckily for them. So those 3 can pit. So I'm interested to see what Overwatch does. Has he got any damage? Because I did see him tap the back of people. It might not be evident on the screen, but you can have light green damage, which still affects the aerodynamics around here. So he might have a chance to pit again, and let's see if he does. But I think everybody in the soft compound tyres, which is the most obvious strategy to do now, with only about 7 laps to go, but 5 laps to the end because of a safety car period. So we'll see then how it all unfolds towards the end of the Grand Prix.
Yeah, I think they're going to be alright, because Rogue Smith is 31 seconds behind the leader. The only way Rogue Smithy can do it is if he crosses the line and then goes past the Delta and then manages to slow down after making the overtake, which would be illegal. But
so as you expect, the top 3 in the pit lane, then nobody wants to be out there on those medium compound tyres, so back in the pit lane they go. But I'm intrigued to see what happens to Overwatch, because he used a set of soft compound tyres during the first stint, so does he have a fresh set as MDJ comes out of the pit lane? Hits the pit lane, comes Overwatch, it doesn't change his
laser, and fresh mediums, fresh softs for Laser as well, and Overwatch.
I remember the Belgian Grand Prix that Laser selected the mediums, actually won that Grand Prix too. I was surprised because he had a bunch of soft runners all over the back of him and in front of him too, but made it work. But currently in P2, behind the championship rival of MDJ, and Overwatch in P3 as well, doing a great job. So all of the field will be bunched up, but Mackett's in the pit lane again. Or was that his first pit stop under the safety car?
Yeah, it was his first one under the safety car, yeah.
So he left it 1 lap too late then, because, well, I don't think he's lost him anything because the Delta's still there. I
just think it bunched everyone up when they came in.
I'm trying to figure things out now. So, what do you think, Dan? Did you think Rogue Smithy actually benefited from the safety car, or got a disadvantage because?
No, neither. It neutralised it because he was in 4th. He's still in 4th, and it's 1 to 4 is exactly how it was. I think if he came in before the Delta activated, it would have been alright. But because the Delta activated, he was already neutralised when he left the pits. So the guys that didn't pit were neutralised. He was neutralised. So yeah, it didn't really matter. It all comes down to if you beat the Delta into the pits, and he couldn't do that. It was literally it neutralised as he decided to come in. So I think it's a dangerous place for him to be for the others, because Smithy is quick. I think the worst thing for Smithy is the fact he's behind Overwatch, because Overwatch is quicker than Smithy. But this does give Smithy an opportunity for a podium. It's his best opportunity this season, I think.
I think he scored one. I do remember talking to him at one point, but I definitely remember because he's got a Scouse accent from Liverpool. But Rogue Smithy, I was talking about if the safety car valued in terms of wanting the safety car or not, because he was on the hard compound tyres, clawing his way down to the mediums. He got rid of Mackett. He didn't have to worry about him no more, overtaking him because he spun out of the second Lesbo. But Rogue Smithy was closing these two down, or three if you include MDJ, but he was quite a long way up the road. So I was wondering
I think that may have been to do with the tyre wear, though, mate.
That's what I'm saying, because like now they're on the same tyres, it's I don't know. The podiums on the cars for sure, maybe the win, but in terms of like on the hards, they'll be better towards the end of the race in comparison to the mediums that have a better chance to get the podium as well. But now they're on the same tyres, all fighting, could it be? I don't know. We'll have to see. It's hindsight, really.
Where was it now? Rogue Smithy had a podium in
Canada?
Australia. Yeah.
I don't know why Canada is the one I always think about when Rogue Smithy got his first podium. There's a lot happening, but I don't know if he was on the podium for a little while, then something happened to him.
I lost it with a penalty. Yeah, I think you're right. There was a steward inquiry, I believe, on one of them. I can't remember which one it was. Possibly Hungary, because he got 18 points. So it may be in Hungary.
Yeah, I definitely remember him having a podium this season, but I can't exactly remember where. Australia, you said the one. But ever since my appearance here, back in Monaco, I've enjoyed it so far. And MDJ is the one to beat. Well, Laser's in first place, but MDJ showed some incredible pace. So I wonder if Laser's got a lot to think about in the championship, with MDJ constantly one by one hunting him down. But this is going to be a great fight between MDJ, Laser, Overwatch and Smithy. Potentially Glock as well, because Glock, ever since turn 2, a few laps ago, about 10, 11 laps ago, he got pushed out wide in turn 2, was on the gravel, and lost a lot of places too as a result. Also went to the pit lane. But now he's back in P5, so this safety car has definitely helped him. He was outside the top 10 at one point in this race too, so he's back there in P5. Let's see what he could do too.
Yeah, it's going to be a 5-lap sprint to the finish, which will be interesting for everyone at the front that's not got penalties.
Yeah, top 8 don't have penalties, whereas Martin doesn't have a penalty either, so he could find himself catapulted into P9 if he keeps it nice and clean on the road. But it's a shame for Harry Kane, because I don't remember him retiring. He's only had DNSs this season, not a DNF, so this is his first DNF of the season. It's not like Harry Kane, but I think he was in that dirty air, carrying to his speed through his Ascari, and unfortunately crashed out of there and lost the wheel as a result. So yeah, easy place to drop it out of Ascari. The back end of the car can snap at you any moment in time, especially if the inside curb a bit too hard. But unfortunately, he's out of the Grand Prix the first time this season.
I wonder what MDJ is going to do on this restart and where he's going to go. Ooh, as Rogue Smithy nearly spins, warming his tyres up.
I saw that.
Wow.
It's embarrassing spinning on a safety car as well, because even though you're going at slow speed, it's easy to do because you're trying to warm up your tyres. Also, rear locking the brakes is an easy thing to do as well when you're trying to slow down in front of somebody in the big corner. So yeah, you'll see a few safety car spins now and then. I've done it myself quite a few times. It's very embarrassing to do indeed, especially when you're fighting for a win or podium.
I love doing it, mate. It's great. It's great fun.
But here we are, and the safety car will come in at the end of this lap. MDJ once again in this race, controlling the pace, and this time his championship rival is right behind him with Overwatch in P3. So we'll see how it all plays out towards the end of this Grand Prix. It was a great sprint race, but now we're having another sprint race with only 5 laps to go in this race too. So this could get quite dramatic, as all the drivers on the same strategy now, same tyres, fighting.
Gone already?
Pulled the trigger like he did at Parabolica, same strategy, but looks like he got it worked out then. So Laser Lord won't be all over the back of him, but I think Oliver's all over the back of Glock, so we'll see how that unfolds into turn 1 then. Heavy braking, potentially with cold tyres as we head into the braking zone now. Mackett's right behind Mansell, pulls out to the right hand side. As you can see, Mackett confident on the brakes, into turn 1, got it nice and controlled, but they're still side by side into 2. Mackett with the outside line has better traction and powers past the Haas, up into P7 he goes then, and see if he can try and make up amends after spinning out into the second Lesbo. Oliver all over the back of Glock.
Drive, yeah, we lost.
Not enough space to make it down the inside. Unfortunately, he'll make a lunge, but Oliver made a mistake there. The first part of it, I can see Mackett, his back end stepping out or into that second chicane. But Laser, the gap is 1 second already, or just there. So crucially, DRS will be enabled, but only for about 1 or 2 laps, I think. So Laser needs to stay in DRS range here. MDJ utilising this advantage now without the DRS enabled, trying to build a gap of 1 second if he can. He's already gained a second on this middle sector as well. That tells you how much this soft compound tyre is working well on this around this track. But Laser 1.2 behind, so he'll be under massive pressure as we got Bossy Gaming spinning out of Ascari, I think.
Yeah, it was.
MDJ going for 5 wins this season. I think he is anyways. Laser's trying to go for his 4th win.
Look at the gap now from MDJ to Laser.
It's not looking great, and this means Laser has to use more battery as well, as Harry Kane has joined the party. So, in fact, while Harry Kane's here, Harry, sorry about your race, mate. You're doing a great job, but I think it was the wrong strategy for you today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I thought Overwatch was going on hards, so I thought I would have a lot more pace, but yeah.
Were you anticipating another safety car? There was another safety car that just came out, but it's just got back in. But
Indigo, Rogue Smithy all over the back of Overwatch. He's in this mix now, so Rogue Smithy's made up time. He's now pressurising Overwatch for this P3 position.
Quickly to you, Harry. Do you expect another safety car with the soft compound tyres?
No, not really. I was just hoping that I had the pace to drive off and just recover.
Yeah, I think you got swamped on the safety car restart too, which allowed Overwatch to get past you, but you made your way back very quickly. Martin has overtaken Samu, so apologies if I do cut you off, Harry, because the race is still going on, hasn't finished just yet. But here we are on lap 25. Then, are you still in the session? Can you see the race?
No, I left.
Yeah. What happened, by the way, Sky? Did you just drop it by yourself, or did someone make contact with you?
I was passed right before Ascari, and in the braking zone I hit the grass.
Indigo, it's lap 26, 27 now, mate. I think we have to let Harry go and focus on the last 2 laps of this race, buddy.
Yeah, sorry, Harry. I tried to make it work, but there's 2 laps left to go. There's got a top 4 battle. DRS isn't able, but Harry, come back stronger next race.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah, take care, mate.
Thank you, mate. And that was a quick, short interview with Harry Kane, which I've never done before, mid-race with a not a podium, but with an interview. But Glock's dropped off this battle now. He's 1.8, but oh, he had a massive snap of oversteer and a lot of wheel spin to go with it. So he's under huge pressure from Oliver and Mackett. So I thought, oh, Glock, another one as well at the first Lesbo. So he's definitely struggling around here at Monza. He was involved in a sprint race fight for the win, but unfortunately not capitalised on these soft compound tyres and actually dropping backwards because Oliver's right behind him. Here we are then. Oliver overtakes him. What about Mackett? Mackett might get him into a Ascari too, but Glock, he gets tagged by the Williams and they both make contact and they're both in the wall together.
Oh, wow.
And none of them willing to yield, and I saw this coming as well, because that's not a place you want to go side by side at all. But lap 27, like he was the sprint, MDJ was leading the sprint race, and he got swallowed up on the straight. Will it be the same scenario then? Can Laser try and take the lead of the race then? Here we are with the DRS enabled for Laser Lord. He will make this move, and he was able to stay. Rogue Smithy and Overwatch in the background. Laser takes the lead, and here comes Rogue Smithy and Overwatch fighting for the last podium spot in this race. Overwatch defends for the time being. Rogue Smithy doing contact, and Overwatch is off into the gravel there. More contact. He's spun as well in the gravel. This not be over because MDJ might have to slipstream. No, he doesn't. It's too far back. So I think Laser has the victory secured unless anything happens down into Ascari or Parabolica.
Yeah, Overwatch is not going to be happy about that. And Glock's got a penalty speed in the pit lane.
And Overwatch has been disqualified, so that's no points for him then, unfortunately. But yeah, it's frustrating.
It depends, Indigo. If he got beached and it disqualified him, as long as he's done, he's done 90%, so he can technically still get points awarded.
MDJ has the DRS on the back of Laser Lord, but this is not going to be enough then. So MDJ, like the sprint race, but it might not be over if you can get a decent exit out of Ascari. Use the ERS, use the slipstream. I think they're both quite low on the ERS, which they are, but looks like Laser Lord has actually got more straight line speed, despite MDJ being in the slipstream. Can't try pull ahead of him or go side by side. So Laser coming out of Parabolica. As Manso's overtaken Samid, Laser Lord will win the Italian Grand Prix ahead of MDJ. Rogue Smithy gets a podium. What a congratulations! What a fantastic drive! Congratulations, Rogue Smithy, on the podium. But will he get a penalty?
Podium.
Yeah.
But that would mean Oliver would get P3, Martin would get P4. I don't know all about penalties and stuff, but yeah, Martin. Big shout out to Martin, P5. After being at the back after an incident and racing through. So yeah, absolutely fantastic from Martin.
Yeah, I remember that. Martin at the back of the field after spinning out has made his way back through into P5. Oliver, it might not be over yet for him because I think Overwatch will appeal against Rogue Smithy and potentially get a podium as Oliver, so not over yet. Mansell was 1,000 behind Martin too. Look at the gaps, unbelievable.
Yeah, unreal. I'm just gonna.
Oh yeah, talk about podium interviews. I can't do them tonight, unfortunately, so I have to dip because I've got work in the morning and I'm feeling ill, so I need to go to bed quite early. Yeah, apologies about that, but hopefully I'll be doing them next week. But yeah, what a race that was. It was a bit messy now and then, and hopefully the Singapore Grand Prix will be better because there was a bit of contact, a bit of desperate moves, especially on the final lap too, with Overwatch and Rogue Smithy. Rogue Smithy tried to go back down the inside, but contact was made. Also into a score where two drivers went off there too. And hopefully be a good race at the Singapore Grand Prix. It was very good here in Monza, but MDJ will be flustered about it because that's 2 times he got out-dragged on the straight.
Yeah, I mean, that was a great race. Really was. So we're not doing interviews tonight, no?
Nah, sorry about that, mate.
No worries, mate, it's fine.
So maximum points there for Laser in the feature race, but in the sprint, score 4 points. MDJ will be absolutely furious knowing there could be the win on the sprint and the feature, but like in the sprint race, he got out-dragged, and Laser was able to take the victory. Rogue Smithy as well, great drive for him. Scored no points in the feature, scored no points in the sprint, neither did Oliver, but they gained a lot of points here tonight in the feature race, so yeah. But Hurricane, who won the sprint race, unfortunately didn't collect any points today, and we had a short interview what happened with Harry Kane. Clipped the grass of the apex, he got overtaken by somebody. Surprised about that because of the fresher tyres, but what could it have been for Harry Kane too? With the safety car coming out. It's a shame for Overwatch, trying to go for his second win, or try and get another podium for him, but things happened at the turn number 2 with Rogue Smithy in Overwatch 2, so it's a shame there, but hopefully those drivers who have problems around here can come back stronger in Singapore and see what they can do next time around. But Dan, thanks again for commentating with me. It's been a pleasure as always.
Yeah, you too, mate. Thanks, buddy, and I'll see you next week.
Yeah, I'll see you next week at the Singapore Grand Prix.
You're my favourite, mate.
Thank you. I'm surprised he coughed on it. I was very tempted to cough as well. I tried not to.
If you have to cough, mate.
If you hear, by the way, guys, if you did hear me mute my mic, that's because I did go and cough. I didn't want you to hear it on the stream, but unfortunately, I couldn't mute my mic in time this time. But anyways, we'll see you all at the Singapore Grand Prix this time next Tuesday at 7:30. Enjoy your evening, and we'll see you all next time round.